Let's dive into Brandy's training so we can stay nice and consistent when we get home. When we get home and we give Brandy a command and she listens to this command, we are going to make sure we are either pet, praising, or rewarding her to let her know she's doing a great job. This is to help us build a positive reward history. A positive reward history is a positive association with doing an action. The more positive Brandy sees these actions as, the more often and the more likely she's going to just give us these good actions. Now, if we give Brandy a command and she ignores it, we are going to make sure that we are following through using her training equipment. What's her training equipment and how do we follow through? So, Brandy's training equipment consists of her prong collar. When using the prong collar, we are going to hook the leash to the spinning D-ring, and we are going to make sure that the chain is sitting on the back of her neck. To put this on and to take it off, we are not going to slip it on and off her head. We are in fact going to take the links apart. To do that, we are going to allow the links to sit parallel. We're going to push one link down the prongs of the other, and that's how we're going to open it. To put it back together, we're going to squeeze the prongs together and place them through the little loops. It is all about technique and not strength. So, how do we follow through? The way we follow through using the prong collar is we are going to do a slight pop and release. So, we're heeling with Brandy. She gets excited, pulls ahead. We're going to pop and release and remind her what it is we're wanting her to do. So she pulls ahead, heel. Brandy's next command is sit. Sit is a short-term duration stay. We demonstrated this with door manners. So we heel Brandy up to the door, we put her in a sit. When she sits, we are either going to pet, praise, or reward her because again, that is the behavior that we are wanting to continue to see. We're going to remind her to sit so she stays in the sit, and then we are going to open that door. Once that door is open, we are going to tell her either free, which means she has the freedom to sniff, explore, or go through that door, or we are going to tell her heel, which means that we're going to go through that door together. Brandy's next command is down. Down is a long-term duration stay, and this was demonstrated with down in the lobby. So when we put Brandy in a down, we want to make sure that when we are rewarding her, that we are placing that treat as close to the ground as possible because dogs are going to follow their nose. So if we go to hand Brandy a treat, she's going to lift her nose to get that reward, which can cause her to either pop up into a sit or possibly even stand up. So again, when rewarding her for her good behavior in the down, we're either going to drop that reward right in front of her onto the ground, or we're going to place that reward in our hand and put our hand as close to the ground as possible. Brandy's next command is going to be come when called. So when working on come when called, I do recommend using a 30 to 50 foot long lead for her safety, especially if you are in an open, unenclosed area. We're going to make sure that we use a loud, firm tone when calling her to us. When she turns and looks at us, we are going to take a few steps back to invite her into our space, and at the same time, we are going to praise her to let her know she's doing a great job. When she gets to us, we're putting her in a sit, and then we are going to go ahead and reward her. After that, we're going to tell her free, and then continue. Now, if by chance, when we call Brandy and tell her to come, she ignores us, we're going to use that long lead and we are going to apply pressure. So we're going to pop and release with that prong collar while it is on her on that long lead. Once she looks at us, we are still going to take a few steps back while praising her her whole way to us. Once she gets to us, she's still going to go into that sit and we are still going to reward her. The reason that we are still rewarding her is because the follow-through happened out there and we want the strongest possible reward history when it comes to come when called, when it comes to her getting to us. Brandy's next command is going to be place. Place is a long-term duration stay. I recommend using an elevated dog bed for this. It just makes it a little bit easier for her to realize when she is not completely on the bed. So when working on place, think of her as a mime in a box, and only you are able to open that door. I recommend using this command when people are coming over, when cooking, or when cleaning, or when Brandy's just a little too excited and we need her to calm down. So we will heel her to her bed, tell her place, let her get on that place, and then before we leave, we're going to remind her to stay in her place. We're going to repeat place and then go about our business. When rewarding Brandy for this, we are going to drop the treat directly onto the place bed because we want her to think that the place bed is what is producing those rewards and producing those treats. It's going to help us build a nice, strong, positive reward history with that bed. There are a few rules with the command place. There's no chewing on the leash, and there's no chewing on the bed. There's also no vocalization, so no barking and no whining. She's also not to touch the ground, so she cannot place a foot on the ground or touch it with her nose. She needs to be completely on that place bed at all times. She can have toys and she can have treats, but again, no chewing on the bed and no chewing on the leash. To allow Brandy back off of place, we are going to go back to her and free her from the same spot in which we have placed her up on that bed. So those are all of Brandy's commands. Let's go ahead and see her in action.